Did you know that a failing PCV valve can slash your engine's efficiency by up to 20%, leading to more fuel consumption by up to 30%? Yes, that's right. This tiny valve can cause major engine issues and affect your vehicle's overall performance. In today's video, we explore the key symptoms of a faulty PCV valve and explain why addressing them early can save you time, money, and headaches on the road. But first, what is a PCV valve? The Positive Crankcase Ventilation valve is a crucial part of your engine's emission control system. Every time your engine runs, it produces tiny amounts of unburnt fuel and combustion byproducts, commonly known as blow-by gases, that escape past the piston rings into the crankcase. Instead of letting these gases build up and create harmful pressure or sludge, the PCV valve cleverly redirects them back into the intake manifold where they are reburned, safely keeping your engine running smoothly. So what happens when the PCV valve is failing? Let's dive into the top warning signs you can't afford to ignore. By the end of this video, you will know all the bad symptoms of a bad PCV valve and how to fix them. 1. Engine idles roughly. When your PCV valve starts to malfunction, it fails to properly manage the flow of blow-by gases that are critical for maintaining the ideal air-fuel mixture in your engine. This imbalance means that the engine may suddenly receive too much or too little fuel relative to air, resulting in erratic combustion. As a consequence, your engine's idle becomes noticeably rough, showing unpredictable RPM fluctuations, sputtering, or even momentary stalls. This unstable idle places extra strain on engine components, potentially accelerating wear and leading to more severe performance issues if left unaddressed. 2. Hissing and whistling sounds from the engine. When you hear a strange sound while driving, it's a telltale sign something isn't working properly. One of the most common symptoms of a bad PCV valve is a hissing, whistling, or whining noise from the engine, sometimes even a low moaning sound. This noise is usually caused by a leak in the PCV hose or excessive vacuum pressure. The easiest way to verify whether a bad PCV valve is the culprit is to temporarily block the vacuum source to the PCV valve. If the noise changes or disappears, you should take your car for mechanical checking. Ignoring this issue can lead to misfires, rough running, vacuum leaks, and performance problems. 3. Engine misfires. When a PCV valve malfunctions, it disrupts the engine's ability to maintain the optimal air-fuel mixture by failing to properly manage the flow of blow-by gases. This imbalance can cause the mixture to become either too lean or too rich. In a lean condition, there's insufficient fuel to support complete combustion, while in a rich condition, the excess fuel can lead to incomplete burning. Both scenarios result in inconsistent combustion events across the engine cylinders, which manifests as misfires. Additionally, a faulty PCV valve may allow oil to enter the intake system, fouling the spark plugs and further contributing to erratic firing. Consequently, the engine experiences misfires. Erratic ignition events that reduce performance, increase emissions, and can eventually lead to more severe engine issues. 4. Noticeable oil leaks. When the PCV valve or its hoses are clogged, the pressure inside the engine crankcase will get very high, which forces the oil in the cylinders to leak through the seals and gaskets. If you see large oil puddles on your garage floor, inspect the PCV valve and hoses for any blockages. Before we go into other symptoms that will instantly impact your pockets, why don't you hit the like button and subscribe? Trust me, this is a sure way to stay off care troubles. 5. High fuel consumption. If you've noticed your fuel gauge dropping faster than usual, your PCV valve might be the silent fuel thief hiding under your hood. A bad PCV valve can disrupt the air-fuel mixture by allowing excess air or fuel vapors into the intake manifold. This imbalance can cause the engine control unit, ECU, to compensate by injecting more fuel than necessary, leading to a rich fuel mixture. As a result, your engine burns more fuel inefficiently, reducing miles per gallon, MPG, and increasing overall fuel consumption. 6. Check engine light coming on. Modern engines are equipped with a network of sensors that continuously monitor the performance of various systems, including the PCV system. When the PCV valve malfunctions, it causes irregularities in crankcase pressure and disrupts the expected flow of gases, triggering the engine control unit to detect an anomaly. In response, the system logs a diagnostic trouble code and illuminates the check engine light, alerting you of a possible problem. We shall discuss the common trouble codes associated with a faulty PCV valve later in the video. Keep watching. 7. Engine consumes lots of oil. When the PCV valve is clogged or stuck open, it loses its ability to properly regulate the flow of crankcase vapors, and this can lead to increased oil consumption. Under normal conditions, the PCV valve helps recycle blow-by gases from the engine by redirecting them into the intake manifold, where they mix with the incoming air-fuel blend. However, it can inadvertently allow oil to be drawn into the intake along with these gases. This extra oil then enters the combustion chamber and burns along with the fuel, causing your engine to consume more oil than it should. Over time, this not only reduces the oil levels in your engine, fouled spark plugs, and potential engine damage. 8. Sludge buildup in engine. If you see thick, sludgy deposits under your oil cap, it could be due to a faulty PCV valve. The PCV system is responsible for venting moisture, fuel vapors, and combustion byproducts from the crankcase. When the valve is clogged or stuck, these contaminants remain trapped inside the engine, condensing and mixing with oil to form sludge. Over time, this buildup can reduce engine lubrication. 9. Blue or black smoke from exhaust. When the PCV valve or its hoses are blocked, the high pressure in the crankcase forces engine oil into the combustion chambers, where it burns along with the fuel and produces a significant amount of blue smoke from the tailpipe. In instances where the malfunctioning PCV valve disrupts the air-fuel mixture, causing it to run either too rich or too lean, you may notice thick white or black smoke coming out of the exhaust, clearly signaling that your engine's combustion process is not functioning. 10. Rough acceleration. A failing PCV response could be the culprit if you are experiencing a sluggish throttle response. A faulty PCV valve can cause an imbalance in the air-fuel mixture by creating excess vacuum or restricting airflow. This disrupts engine combustion efficiency, making acceleration feel weak and unresponsive. A clogged PCV valve can lead to increased crankcase pressure, forcing oil and vapors into the intake, which further hampers performance. 11. Poor engine performance. Are you feeling like your engine isn't performing optimally? A clogged or malfunctioning PCV valve can lead to increased pressure in the crankcase, forcing oil and vapors into the intake system, reducing power output and overall engine performance. If your car feels sluggish or struggles under load, a faulty PCV valve could be the cause. 12. Contaminated air element. One of the clear signs of a bad PCV valve is a clogged air element, which directly affects your engine's ability to breathe properly. The PCV valve plays a crucial role in managing crankcase vapors by redirecting them back into the intake manifold. When the valve malfunctions, excess oil and contaminants can accumulate and clog the air element, restricting the flow of fresh air. This obstruction not only disrupts the optimal air-fuel mixture, but also compromises overall engine performance, leading to symptoms such as a rough idle and reduced fuel efficiency. 13. Engine stalling. One of the most serious signs of a malfunctioning PCV valve is a stalling car engine. A failing PCV valve can create a significant vacuum leak, leading to an unstable air-fuel mixture. Your engine may struggle to maintain a consistent idle, causing it to stall, especially at stoplights or when coming to a halt. If you're experiencing sudden stalls, it's time to check that PCV valve. 14. Fouled spark plugs. Ever pulled out a spark plug and found it covered in oily gunk? A failing PCV valve can allow excessive oil vapors into the combustion chamber, leading to fouled spark plugs. When spark plugs get coated in oil and carbon buildup, they struggle to ignite the air-fuel mixture properly, resulting in misfires, poor fuel efficiency, and sluggish performance. If your engine is running rough and your spark plugs look dirty, your PCV valve might be the hidden culprit. 15. Trouble starting your engine. Have you ever turned the key only to have your engine struggle to start? A faulty PCV valve can cause an imbalance in the air-fuel mixture or allow excess pressure to build in the crankcase. This can make it harder for your engine to fire up, leading to prolonged cranking or multiple attempts before the engine finally starts. If you're experiencing difficulty starting your car, don't overlook the PCV valve as a possible culprit. What are the error codes for a bad PCV valve? To be sure that it is a faulty PCV valve that's causing the trouble, use the OBD scanner to check for these common trouble codes. P052E, Positive Crankcase Ventilation Regulator Valve Performance. P053A, Positive Crankcase Ventilation Heater Control Circuit or Open. P0171, Fuel System Too Lean. P0300, Random or multiple cylinder misfire detected. If you get any of these trouble codes from your engine control unit, you should have your PCV valve inspected by a professional. How to inspect the PCV valve properly. Before thinking of replacing the PCV valve, let's make sure it's really the issue. Here's how to inspect it properly. First, locate the PCV valve, usually on the valve cover or intake manifold. Remove it and give it a shake. If you hear a rattling sound, that means the valve is still functional. If there's no sound, it's likely clogged or stuck. Next, perform a vacuum test by placing your finger over the valve opening while the engine is running. If you feel strong suction, the valve is working correctly. If there's little to no vacuum, it might be time for a replacement. Lastly, check for oil buildup around the valve and hoses. Excessive sludge or moisture could indicate a blockage. A quick inspection can save you from unnecessary repairs. Maintenance tips for PCV system. To keep your PCV valve in top shape, make sure to replace it during major scheduled maintenance, typically at 30,000, 60,000, and 90,000 miles, or as recommended by your vehicle's manufacturer. Skipping regular servicing and oil changes can shorten its lifespan and lead to bigger engine problems down the road. How much does it cost to replace a PCV valve? The cost to replace a PCV can vary based on your vehicle's make and model, as well as regional labor rates. On average, the total replacement cost ranges between $80 and $250. Cost breakdown. Parts. The PCV valve itself typically costs between $29 and $50. Labor. Labor charges are estimated between $40 and $80 for local mechanics, and $90 to $150 for branded dealership. Can I clean a PCV valve instead of replacing it? Sometimes you can restore a PCV valve's function by cleaning it with a carburetor cleaner. However, if the valve is heavily clogged or damaged, replacing it is the most effective solution. We just explored the critical symptoms of a bad PCV valve. If you found this video helpful, hit that subscribe button for more expert car care tips. And to keep your engine in top shape, watch the symptoms of a bad crankcase position sensor next.